Wrestling! Fans, tonight in our main event, the score will finally be settled between Siren the Voodoo Doll and Candy Crush. Siren the Voodoo Doll has been torturing Candy Crush, holding those prize brown gloves hostage. It's all in our main event tonight, fans.
Introducing first, accompanied by Exodus and Ice Cold, Genesis!
Welcome to the greatest show in professional wrestling, fans. Wow, women of wrestling. On my left, the man that knows 1,000 holds, Stephen Dickey. And on my right, the woman that was the WWE wrestling sensation, a best-selling book publisher, and now screenplay movie writer superstar AJ Mendez. And of course, coming into the ring, Genesis, one half of Team Exile. And she's accompanied by her partner, Exodus, along with their friend, their new friend, if you will, Ice Cold. All three are very dangerous competitors on their own, but this is gonna be singles competition tonight for just Genesis. And as she steps up to the ring, the action's gonna be getting underway.
That's right, tonight Genesis steps out on her own. No longer in the shadow of Malaya Hosaka, Genesis is poised to become the leader of Exile as we see Ice Cold and Exodus flanking her. Genesis sending a strong message to her opponent, Tiki Chamorro, tonight.
Tiki, of course, a fan favorite of many, and the one that knows how to light those balls on fire and swing them with that fire dance of hers.
It's a beautiful dance.
We're gonna have to be more specific.
And her opponent from Santa Rita, Guam, Tiki Chamorro!
You need more specific to light those balls on fire, AJ?
Uh-oh.
Tiki Chamorro making her way to the ring. Guam's first WoW superhero, David.
That is correct.
Tiki, like you said, a fan favorite. She's got a tough task ahead of her tonight. Genesis is looking to prove herself. As we pointed out, this is her first night, her first match as the leader of Exile. In that leadership position, she wants to come out, make a strong impression, strong first impression, and a win over Tiki is gonna do just that. Tiki slapping five with the fans at ringside. Pure energy and excitement as she comes to the ring. She's always got the crowd behind her.
Tiki is a rugby player. She's played rugby professionally. Her husband plays it. And I tell you, when I learned that, I knew she'd be tough enough to get into the WoW ring and wrestle.
Referee Ben Scheinberg signaling for the bell.
Do not be fooled by how sweet Tiki looks. She is tough as nails.
And this match is underway. Genesis with the single leg takedown on Tiki. She flips Tiki back, stomping the hand. Already we see those underhanded tactics coming into play as Genesis taking firm control of the match. Tiki got the waist lock. Genesis reverses it. Tiki trying to fight out of it now. These two trying to get position. And Tiki fighting fire with fire, stomping the toe.
Now, what has led to the exit of Malaya Hosaka tonight? Is she permanently leaving this team, or is she just trusting them implicitly to walk out here on their own?
She's permanently left the team, and speaking with Exodus and Genesis, they wanted to go at their own. They felt the two of them have learned the ways of the past, the old school, and they wanted to forge their own battles. They've kept Ice Cold in their corner with them, possibly to help them, maybe feeling unsecure without that third member on the outside. We'll find out tonight. Genesis, she said she was ready and wanted to do single action. Now, does this mean possibly the breaking up of Exile? I don't know.
Well, I don't think it's going to lead to a breakup because they brought Ice Cold in for a reason. They know their strength in numbers. They know that numbers game has really played to their advantage more often than not. I think Genesis is making a smart move here by recruiting somebody like Ice Cold. Tiki Chamorro has the upper hand here. She's got that headlock locked in. Genesis is down. That's what you got to do with the bigger competitor, but she rolls her over. Just a 2 count. Referee Ben Scheinberg signaling it was only a 2 count. Tiki staying on the offense here, one of the smartest maneuvers you can do against somebody like Genesis. Genesis trying to fight out of it, though.
And how is this team up gonna change Ice Cold? You know, maybe her attitude so far has been because she's felt like an outsider on her own. She hasn't found any of her kin here at WoW, but now she's found a little family. Maybe she'll get really sweet. Maybe she'll be lukewarm.
I don't know about sweet, but I think you nailed it exactly, AJ. She's felt as an outsider. She's felt iced out. And I think that was the kinship between her and Exile when they all sat and started speaking to each other.
Hurricanrana by Tiki. Tiki's on the offense again. Genesis getting back to a vertical base. Tiki goes up. Body smash into the corner. Stinger splash. Shoulder thrust. Snapmare. Genesis is down. Tiki taking it to Genesis 2. I thought that was a 3 count.
Only 2.
You know, you both brought up a great point earlier about Ice Cold feeling like an outsider, but here's Exodus, rake in the eyes. Referee's back was turned, he didn't see it. Genesis kick to the midsection, clubbing blow to the back. Tiki's down. Wow, what a leg drop across the back of the neck. Tiki is down. And now Genesis turning it into a modified triangle choke. Referee signaling Tiki does not give up. You gotta wake up pretty early to get one over on Tiki Chamorro.
That was a creative transition there. Yeah, she dropped the leg and got into a reverse leg scissors.
Almost like a modified famouser, if you will. Tiki kicks out, though, at 2. Again, earlier you guys brought up a good point with Ice Cold. She was an outsider. We saw her associated with the disciplinarian and Samantha Smart, but obviously it just wasn't the right fit for her. Perhaps joining Exile in the absence of Malaya Hosaka might be just what the recipe needed for Ice Cold's future success here in WoW. Tiki Chamorro feeling the effects of the attack from Genesis. Now Genesis using those long legs to her advantage, choking Tiki against the top rope. But she knows when to break that hold. Very intelligent maneuver there.
And it's nice to see them not really miss a step. They were able to work together, teamwork. Maybe it was illegal, ref didn't see it, so it doesn't count. But they're still on the same page, even without Malaya.
They certainly are, and they have certainly learned their lessons well.
That was a gorgeous spinning back kick.
Genesis, like I said earlier, wisely using her long limbs to her advantage. There's Ice Cold coming into play there. Difference maker on the outside.
As well as Exodus.
Tiki trying to fight back with the blows to the midsection. Just thrown to the mat like a basketball. 1, 2, kick out.
Exodus and Genesis, both from Australia.
We've got a few superheroes from the Down Under. Of course, Princess Aussie as well.
And you know instantly when you hear her speak. But what's interesting, we've never heard really Genesis or Exodus speak because Malaya's always done all the speaking for them.
Well, I think that's going to change here soon. Tiger feint kick! Tiger feint kick! Genesis is down! Tiki's got the advantage! What's she thinking here? She goes against the ropes. Exodus! Exodus grabbed the legs. Tiki distracted. Tiki needs to return her attention to Genesis. And Genesis capitalizes. She's got her up. Full Nelson! Full Nelson! What's she going to do here? Nelson slam! Beautiful maneuver. Tiki's down, but Genesis not taking advantage. She needs to make the cover. She needs to make the cover.
We're airing in Australia, aren't we?
We certainly are.
Hi, Australia. I'm sorry that we're representing you as such.
2.
Awesome that is.
She turned it around. Whoa! That's it. Ring the bell. That's all she wrote. Genesis is in disbelief.
Here is your winner, Tiki Chamorro! Making her way to the ring from New Orleans, Louisiana, BK Rhythm!
BK Rhythm coming to us from Nolens, Louisiana. And of course, that's where she gets the rhythm from, the home of jazz music itself.
And beignets.
And beignets. Wow, I did not know that, AJ. Thank you for the education there.
Café du Monde.
I don't mind saying, what the heck has been what?
A beignet. Oh, it'll change your life. Let's go to New Orleans.
It is a delicious pastry. Oh, yeah.
Really? I only knew they were famous for gumbo. Thank you, AJ, for broadening my experiences.
We'll have a full meal.
I love it.
Now, beignets are sweet, but there's nothing sweet about BK Rhythm's wraps that she's going to have tonight, surely, for her opponent, Chantilly Cella.
You got that right.
And her opponent from India, California, Chantilly
Oh, no.
Cella!
crunching away because she doesn't want to get up.
I'm just gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna just run to the back real quick.
She's got the cape too, David.
Look, I love Chantilly. What I don't love is what Chantilly brings out of you, David.
I love it.
Oh my God.
She got a new haircut tonight. Looking good.
She looks great. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh.
David, you got the cape. You've got the cape.
But I'm not going to put it on me tonight.
No. Don't you touch me with
Put
that
it on
sparkle.
AJ. AJ's got the cape. There we go. I love it. Should we get a selfie? I think we need a selfie of that one.
Everybody, listen. Tonight, I'm a solo act. No one to hold me back. It's a fact. Y'all love me. I made this place packed.
Ooh.
In between us two, this is round 2. You won last time, but this is my redo. I'ma hit the mic check. No more dancing for you.
She is on it tonight. BK Rhythm dropping the word.
Referee Paige Prinzavali, the official in this one, signaling the beginning of the contest between BK Rhythm and Chantilly Cella. As BK pointed out, this is a rematch. Last time Chantilly Cella, the victor. Now BK Rhythm coming back stronger than ever. Chantilly with the wrist lock and the arm drag. BK down with another arm drag. Chantilly's feeling in this one, the crowd firmly behind her. BK with a bicycle kick. Chantilly against the ropes. She goes up, she goes over. BK doesn't know what happened. Up and over again, Japanese spinning arm drag. BK Rhythm dazed in the corner. Waist lock. Chantilly and BK fighting for control here. BK with the dirty elbow, but Chantilly comes right back. Beautiful, innovative maneuver there, modified arm drag. Then a drop kick to BK Rhythm. BK into the corner, dazed and confused, much like my favorite movie.
Much like Chantilly at Coachella.
That's true. Chantilly hit that forearm in the corner. BK reversed the Irish whip. Chantilly goes up, going for a pin. Kick out by BK. Sends her flying.
That was a strong flying leg press right into the head. Went to the second turnbuckle. Chantilly.
I mean, I was moments away from saying that Chantilly has never looked better. But BK took advantage.
Stopped her right in her tracks. BK with a modified gut buster.
She never looked better until she flew her head into the second turnbuckle.
Brilliant ring awareness by BK.
Kick out by Chantilly Cella. Not going down in this one, not without a fight, that is. Kick to the midsection. BK Rhythm might be one of the dirtiest competitors we've seen here in WoW. Not afraid to kick a person when they're down, not afraid to step on some fingers and toes, quite literally.
Well, I mean, she didn't technically put her face in the turnbuckle. She just kicked out of the pin, and that's where Chantilly's face landed. Agree
to disagree on that one, AJ.
You guys disagree a lot. I always agree with AJ.
You know, sometimes you're a smart man.
Only sometimes?
BK Rhythm has the headlock, the chin lock locked in. Chantilly Cella trying to fight out of it, but she's in the center of the ring. As you mentioned, great ring awareness by BK Rhythm. I mentioned she's one of the dirtiest competitors, but she's one of the most intelligent we've seen as well.
Well, you gotta be. If you're gonna play dirty, you gotta know how to get away with it.
Kick out.
Remember, unless the referee sees it, Steven, did it really happen, according to AJ?
I think the late, great Bobby Heenan said that as well, David.
Oh.
Elbow to the midsection. BK and Chantilly trading blows here. Wrist lock. Irish whip. Went for a hip toss. Chantilly reversed it, going for, what's she thinking here? She thinking pinfall attempt. Here it is, backside pin. 1, 2, kick out, no. BK reversed it.
Wrestling is a lot of moves and maneuvers and counter moves, and you just saw one there to save that match from ending.
Knee to the midsection. BK Rhythm sends Chantilly into the corner. Looked like an arm drag into a neck breaker almost.
Hip toss into a neck breaker, yeah.
Kick out by Chantilly. Back into the chin lock.
Nicely applied.
Well, this is, again, another intelligent move by BK Rhythm because Chantilly can fly all around that ring as we've seen. And if you ground her like this is the only way to win against an opponent like Chantilly.
And Chantilly really torqued her neck when she smashed into that turnbuckle all on her own.
Now, fans, our main event tonight is Candy Crush. She's going to be in there against the Voodoo Doll.
Arm drag takedown. BK Rhythm trying to go on the offensive, but Chantilly had it scouted. Beautiful kick. Beautiful sweep.
Although the mystery of the gloves is solved, the revenge is not.
Kick out by BK Rhythm.
Candy Crush wants a little revenge tonight against the Voodoo Doll and her part. And what she took place with Candy Crush's grandmother's gift of those boxing gloves. You all saw that last night
At the LA Comic-Con special.
Kick out by BK Rhythm. I thought that was it. Chantilly hitting an amazing drop kick off that second rope.
She really got her win back, and she got the momentum in her favor. Can she capitalize?
You brought up a great point. Either of you ever seen anything like the House of Horrors that we saw in the LA Comic-Con special?
That was amazing. And no is the answer. I know AJ hasn't either because we spoke about it at lunch today.
I'm sorry I was on my phone the entire time.
During lunch.
It's very rude.
BK Rhythm, 1, 2, 3, Chantilly, Cella. That's all she wrote.
Here is your winner, BK Rhythm! Making their way to the ring from the Board of Education in Columbia, South Carolina, the disciplinarian and G.I. Jane, accompanied by Samantha Smart.
What a team. The Disciplinarian and G.I. Jane, as we've explored in some of the features you've seen over the last few weeks, G.I. Jane and Disciplinarian, wow, that's sorry, I couldn't even finish my sentence. Samantha Smart just stared daggers through me.
I don't want to get the whooping.
I'm terrified.
The ruler. Or do I?
As I was saying, G.I. Jane and Disciplinarian come from similar backgrounds as we've learned in the past. Samantha Smart was able to find these two, introduce them to each other, and take advantage of that common bond.
You're right. And they're going to be in here right now against Big Rig Betty and Holly Swag, the only mother-daughter team in wrestling. And we all saw earlier tonight what took place, ensuring and helping Coach Campanelli and Randy Rara get another match for the championship belts against the Carlsons, how they locked in Lana Starr in her gorgeous car and wouldn't release her until the signature that Coach presented.
Did she get a ticket for that? I feel like it's a parking violation.
And their opponents from Jackson, Tennessee, Big Rig Betty and Holly Swag.
David and AJ, did you know that Jackson, Tennessee is the truck stop capital of the world?
No, is that the highway on the road to Memphis?
That's right there.
Is that town that I make sure to just drive right through?
It's probably, I think that's an accurate description. It's one of those towns that you don't want to get lost in, that's for sure. Big Rig Betty, Holly Swag. Opposites collide here in this one. The discipline of the Disciplinarian and G.I. Jane against the rough and tumble style of Holly Swag and her mother, Big Rig Betty. Referee Ben Scheinberg, the official in this one, trying to get this one underway. Let's get it on. Big Rig Betty gonna start this one with the Disciplinarian. This crowd firmly behind the trucker tag team of Big Rig Betty and Holly Swag. David, they're honking. You hear them honking?
Honk, 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 honk.
Disciplinarian putting an end to the fun per usual as she locks Big Rig Betty in the headlock. Big Rig Betty trying to fight out of this one. She sends her into the corner. Beautiful flying forearm. Tagging in Holly Swag. Kick to the midsection, putting the boot stomp in a mud hole, and she's gonna walk it dry.
Just like Thug used to do in the original WOW Women of Wrestling.
That's a great comparison, David. Big Rig Betty and Holly Swag, reminiscent of Harley's Angels there.
I wouldn't be surprised if they don't know Thug.
I wouldn't be surprised either. Thug strikes me as one who spent a lot of time in Jackson, Tennessee, wouldn't you think? Oh, beautiful backhand to the disciplinarian. Headlock lock back in. Brilliant tag team wrestling here by Big Rig Betty and Holly Swag. Frequent tags keeping the fresh competitor in the ring. Holly Swag back on the offensive, picking up where her mom left off. That headlock on the disciplinarian.
They've been a tag team all of Holly's life, if you think about it.
That's right.
You know what I found out today? I got to talk to Holly. Her and her mother have had moments in time where they've actually wrestled each other. When they were fighting, not on the same page, they've gotten in the ring against each other. That's something I'd like to see.
Well, the mother, actually, she got arrested for being a bad girl when she was younger, spent a few days in the jail, and she never forgot it. And she saw little Holly, her daughter, was on the same path, and she straightened her out very quickly and said, if you get in any trouble, I'm gonna let you stay in jail for a day. And sure enough, daughter like mom, it happened, and I gotta hand it to Big Rig Betty. She let little Holly stay in for a day and said you'd stay in more if you do it again. And she got her into wrestling. And if you speak to Holly, she'll tell you wrestling has saved her life. It's given her purpose. And she's gonna need some purpose as G.I. Jane slams her right into the mat.
It's going to take more than that to take out Holly. She is tough. She's a lot tougher than she looks. She looks like a sweet, cute little blonde chick, but she can get down. She says her nickname is actually Holly Hood.
Holly Hood.
I love it.
I like it myself. Let's get some shirts made like that. Holly Hood.
Well, Holly Swag.
Like Hollywood, Holly Hood.
She's up against a brick wall there in G.I. Jane. G.I. Jane coming in like a house of fire. Pure explosion as she takes it to Holly Swag.
Something I love about G.I. Jane is how methodical she is in the ring. She doesn't go by anyone else's time frame. She takes her time. She picks her opponent apart.
A drill sergeant in the United States Army.
She knows how to be in control, which is why her and the disciplinarian is a beautiful tag team.
I think Samantha Smart might be onto something by teaming these two together. This might be the best match we've seen. Samantha Smart has looked for tag team partners for the disciplinarian in the past, but I think this is going to be the absolute best fit. And look at Samantha Smart. Look at Samantha Smart smacking Holly with the ruler.
I didn't see her through the camera person in front of me, but you're right.
Holly Swag, not in a good way here as the disciplinarian. Throws her against the ropes, hits a vicious, that's not a clothesline,
wow.
That's a lariat.
Ooh.
Holly just got folded in
we have
half.
a serious injury here. I mean, that was wicked.
She got turned inside out, but Holly kicked out. Holly keeps
I don't
fighting.
know where she pulled that out of.
You know, I relate to her so much, always being the smallest person on a roster, the smallest person in the ring. When you were in there against really powerful women, you will get ragdolled, and you land on your neck a lot. It really takes a lot of years off of your career.
As it did with yours.
It certainly did. I hope Holly is okay.
I mean, AJ, have you ever taken a lariat like what we saw there from the disciplinarian?
Oh, I've taken lariats and spears and folded inside out multiple times, and you know what? I'm still feeling it.
Beautiful code breaker. Holly makes the tag to Big Rig Betty. Big Rig Betty coming in, taking it to G.I. Jane.
And the mother trucker's in the ring and jamming away.
Look at that elbow. G.I. Jane's back up. Big Rig Betty with the waist lock. Short arm clothesline taking G.I. Jane down.
And that's how Mama does it.
Yeah, taste her own medicine.
Mama Bear ain't gonna let you take it to her cub like that. Russian leg sweep into the cover. 1, 2, kick out.
Disciplinarian was moving so fast, Steven. You were talking and she was moving. Look who's in the back.
Oh no, Samantha Smart just broke the ruler over Big Rig Betty. G.I. Jane has her up. World's strongest slam going into the cover. 3 count. Come on.
Here are your winners, the Disciplinarian and G.I. Jane!
Well, as we're
from New Orleans, Louisiana, Siren the Voodoo Doll!
Let's see what the cards tell.
This is the main event tonight, fans. This is what you've been waiting for, and as you can tell by the reaction of the fans here in the WOW Arena to Lauren Hunkley's introductions, they are fired up for this one. The Voodoo Doll coming to the ring against Candy Crush tonight in this big main event. Candy Crush has made her way through the Voodoo Doll's army of wrestlers. Now she gets her in the ring tonight. This'll be a good one. The fans are ready for this.
And her opponent from St. Paul, Minnesota, Candy Crush!
How excited is Candy right now to get her hands on Siren?
She's very excited as we saw. Right there, she's into the ring. Ring the bell. Get the action started. Candy Crush going after the Voodoo Doll. Crush wants this victory more than anything because she wants those boxing gloves. She wants the answers that she didn't get in the House of Horrors, where she found out the person that manipulated everything was not the Voodoo Doll, who was in on it with Holiday and Chainsaw, but none other than Chainsaw's little sister, Angelica Dante. Voodoo now takes the wind out of Candy Crush. Off the top rope she comes. Voodoo giving it to Crush.
She went through psychological torture for weeks.
No doubt about it. And that sometimes psychological torture is worse than a physical injury. Wouldn't you agree?
Definitely. Sometimes an injury you can shake off, you can feel stronger than ever, but when somebody gets into your head, it is hard to stop questioning yourself.
Siren the Voodoo Doll dragging Candy Crush against the top rope. Siren the Voodoo Doll has Candy Crush exactly where she wants her.
Well, Candy Crush came in the beginning just like a house of fire. And right now, after that punch to the middle by the Voodoo Doll, the fire has been extinguished.
Into the cover, 1, 2, and a kick out by Candy Crush. Beautiful Northern Light suplex by Siren the Voodoo Doll.
How does she light that fire again? How does she get that spark to get Siren and Co. out of her head?
Well, I think you nailed it, AJ. It's psychologically, she's been messed with so much. She came in with the high energy Candy Crush, and now her strength has been zapped. And I think it's because of psychological reasons. And that could be the case here. How many times have you heard of anxiety?
Oh, I live with it every day.
and it drains you.
It really does. It's exhausting.
Snap suplex.
In fact, when you've got the anxiety, you could be enthusiastic, but then when that mindset comes in, you're drained. And I think Candy Crush is in trouble. Voodoo hasn't been in a singles match in many, many months, but she's in one now.
Well, Siren the Voodoo Doll doesn't have to be in singles competition. She has Holiday and Chainsaw to fight her battles for her.
That's right. Now she's pulling that locks, now the face back.
Well, let's not forget how we got to this match, though. It was at the end of the House of Horrors. Angelica Dante surprising us all with her return to WOW and signaling to Candy Crush that if you want these gloves, you have to fight Siren the Voodoo Doll in one-on-one competition.
You're exactly right, and that's what's so shocking. The little sister of Chainsaw coming back to WOW. And now we see Crush going over to the corner trying to gain her senses. Moves out of the way. Right now, Crush trying to slowly muster up the power again and the energy in the match.
And that's what I love about Candy. No matter how much they beat her down, she is never going to say no to a fight.
Right hook off the top